Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be looking at Huda Beauty's Rose Gold Palette Remastered. So I was kind of just waiting for this one to come out for more so the sale. I am happy with Huda Beauty and things like that. So I don't want to like knock them. Like, I think they're really good. I do think their smaller ones are maybe like a little bit better, but after kind of swatching this one, I don't know. Like, I have to try like a makeup look with this one. Because swatching it, I was like, some of these colors are just like gorgeous. So this is the remastered one, and definitely the Rose Gold palette was popular because Knockoff Beauty Company kind of did their own one. So this one is $85 Canadian versus this one being $13 Canadian. So this is more so based off of the original Rose Gold palette. So I just wanted to kind of see like with those, like with beauty knockoffs, I feel like if they're able to do the same quality or close enough to with a lower price, like significantly lower, because if you're looking at like it's less than $15, so it's less than like it's a fifth of the price. Like, how does that happen? Like, I don't think, if they're both the same quality and one's a fifth of the price, like, I'm sorry, like, I feel like, yes, you, even if you have the money, like, buy the cheaper brand. But there's other things that goes into it, like kind of where it's manufactured, what's in it, and things like that, and whatnot, and like how much you're getting in it. So sometimes, like, yes, this might be less, but it might be less weight. So it doesn't really say the weight on here, but I'll try and like look it up and put it in just like the notes, right? So I do wish like this one actually says the weight, what the ingredients are. Like, I wish makeup companies more so did that, so you know. Overall, I don't know. Sorry, I've kind of pre-swatched, and like, it's a big palette, so it's up my arm. But overall, I do think this one is better. But I think like it's not bad. I think it's better than what's at the drugstore. So kind of looking at the swatches, so I'm just gonna kind of, right, oh no, I did it. Did my swatching pad. So I'm just gonna bring you in. So looking at the swatches, some of the first colors are really kind of similar, then they kind of go a little bit differently, and that, I think the knockoff palette had a better black, but definitely the mattes, besides the black in the Rose Gold palette, were just so beautiful, right? But we can see some of these shadows are similar. I found some of the shimmers were still a good shimmer. Some of them, like, you would maybe need to do 2 coats with your fingers. So going through those colors, like, oh, they're definitely both pretty. But if we're just kind of looking at the two, I think the remastered one is a little bit better. Do I think it's kind of worth the fifth of the price tag? We're all between the two, right? I think you do still have kind of like more dynamic colors and like better quality. But I don't think like some of these companies, I get they're not maybe spending as much time in researching, and they're kind of knocking things off. But I think when they can do it for so much cheaper and like This palette's definitely like A+. This is like maybe like B, B-, right? I'll just have to kind of test it out with the look. So I will kind of at the end of the video go through this one side of my face with the Beauty Glaze and the Huda Beauty. So I will kind of test that out at the end. But I feel like sometimes people will be like, oh, how dare you support like a knockoff? And I kind of like, I see both sides of it. But again, like I go through like, you're like, that's my hard-earned money that I'm going for. So am I mad at this one? No, because I think they do have the dynamic colors and it's good quality. I think some other ones that are like ridiculously priced, and then I see kind of like the difference in it. And like there's that eyeshadow out there where you know kind of which one it is at Sephora that's really overpriced, and I have bought one of like their knockoff ones, and I found it just as good quality. Like I didn't do the same palettes between them, but I don't want to kind of knock that one and label them, but like there's ones out there that are like $200 for like not that many eyeshadows. Still a good product. Some of the more recent ones they come out with, maybe not that great, but I think they started to kind of learn like by offering a little bit cheaper ones, and things like that. So I'm going to kind of wipe off the knockoff one and kind of compare this rose gold palette to the Desert Beauty to see like which one, if you're kind of in that debate, which colors you would like better. So sorry for any shakiness, but looking at some of these swatchings, I do think the rose gold remastered's a little bit better as we're going through, but I do think yeah, if we can kind of see those color differences, I think just the metallics in the rose gold are just easier. Like everything's just more buttery in the rose gold one. The Desert Beauty is not like a bad one at all. It definitely has like this glittery shade here. That's like basically just glitter. So kind of looking at these swatches, I definitely feel like they're both good and that, but like this one I think is my favorite over, like I haven't even done a makeup look, but just from swatching I feel like this one's maybe a little bit better. This one I haven't used as much as I should have and stuff like that. Like it has some like unique different colors. So I think like if you're like, oh, which one do I want? Think about like what color choices of things that you wear. So if you like those orangey shades, maybe this one's a little bit better. If you like more of those like golds and pinks, this one's not too bad. But I think like they both give you a variety of ones. I do think these ones are just like feel better and things like that. But both are nice palettes. So it's maybe something to put on like your birthday wish list, right? But I feel like this one just seems prettier, right? Maybe like this one's all sultry and then like romantic, is what I feel like some of that difference is. But like overall, like sometimes look to see if like companies have something similar, like looking for those dupes. Like yes, this is a like total knockoff, but I think if the quality's there, then it's not so bad, and people will be like, like you're just copying, like how dare you do that. But I don't think any of the makeup companies are really coming up with those inventive things. Like if you're going to come up with like the jelly kind of highlight and someone's just going to like knock that off, right? Like, I feel like at least give someone a while if they come up with something new and different. But like, an eyeshadow is an eyeshadow, really. So unless you're coming up with something kind of outside of the box, then how can you be mad? Because like, own company, like those brand name companies will kind of rip off of each other and things like that. So I think it ultimately comes down to like quality versus like, no, don't buy knockoffs. Like, sometimes the quality's there and like you can't knock them because they're all really copying each other. And I think you can see that when you have like unicorn palettes and like all the festival palettes, like they just come up with these same names and it's those same color choices. But I think ultimately, like, buy what's in your budget. You don't have to go crazy necessarily if you want to kind of do those same looks. And if like you're not like really big into wearing makeup and you don't want to invest like $85, then I think like you could still get some good use out of something that's like $13. So let me know in the comments below, like, do you think it's like an ultimate sin to like buy knockoffs and you're really not supporting these companies, or are you for like whatever is the cheapest? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will insert trying out those different makeup looks now. Hi everyone, so finishing up with my kind of makeup look, I'm gonna go into Suede of my rose gold, and then of kind of the knockoff, I'm gonna go into nude. It's definitely the rose gold. You will have some of that kick up, so you don't want to be like too hard into it. Always remember to kind of tap off. So the knockoff also doesn't have a mirror, so that makes things a little hard. So these are kind of supposed to be compared to each other, and already they're kind of like different. When you, at least when I'm putting them on my lid, like this definitely has some more of that like brown deepness to it, where this one's more of like a gray to its brown. I did kind of like this one a little bit better, but I have used the rose gold palette and it not be so difficult, so it could just be that it's near the end of my day and I'm just sucking at life. Ugh. So I think I'm gonna go in with 24K, which is this nice like gold shade, and I am gonna use my finger for it. So it is very like, bam, here I am, gold. I did try and look up like the sizing or like how much is in these, but I really couldn't find it. I know like looking on Sephora, some people complain because some of the shadows like are almost like indented and stuff like that. I never really hit pan on any of my stuff, so like I don't mind. Like I guess it's kind of indenting because it is really like soft and things like that. So it could just be like if they put more on, it would just kind of come out in chunks, like they're just going by the weight. So I think like performance is more important than like how things kind of sit. Then going in with Glow Kit in my knockoff Beauty Glaze. It's kind of getting all like just pressing into itself, so I'm just going to try and lift it up when it gets that like film on it, is what's happening currently. So I'd say like maybe the quality isn't quite there with this color. So I just kind of had to use a brush. And then I didn't tap off, so I have a whole bunch of fallout. So let me just wipe that away. I'm just failing at my mission because I want to be like, oh, like the cheaper brand isn't that bad. But it is right now. So I'm going to try some like Fix Plus. And then I feel like it's only fair to try and do Fix Plus on this side. So I'd say it's best to use kind of this rose gold one, Remastered. Definitely use your fingers, like wetting it, like wet your finger a little with the Fix Plus, and then use it, and you really almost get like a crazy foil look. But obviously, as we can tell, like when I was first watching them, I was like, yeah, go with the cheaper one. Kind of putting them on, I'm like, ugh. Now I see kind of that difference, right? It's really like just brighter and things like that. And I think it's like more attractive look. Next, I'm going to go into Dubai and then Goldstone for my knockoff. And then I just think I'm just going to use my finger. It's definitely with this darker color, I think they're comparable. There's definitely more fallout with the knockoff. I'm just going to kind of take a clean brush and blend out. Definitely with the knockout off. There's fallout. And like the colors just don't have as much as a pop. So it really looks like a light shining on this one and it's a little dark on this side. And then I'm just going to go into Man-Eater along my bottom. And then they have Burgundy. So finishing with some mascara, I'm just going to use a Clinique High Impact. Just because it kind of gives me... It's the first one I grabbed from my drawer. Like I wanted to go in and say like this one not too bad. So I think like some of the colors you can work with and stuff like that. Looking at it, I feel like this is just so much brighter, right? And even like here, it's like a little bit starting to fade, and that that like maybe this is a little bit better quality. So if you can afford it, get this one. If you kind of want to get those similar looks and, you know, like you're okay to make a little bit of a compromise, then, you know what, like not that bad, right? Like you have to work a little bit harder, right? Like use that Fix Plus. Well, I use my all-nighter, but use like a setting spray to kind of use them a little bit wet. Realize you're going to have some fallout, so maybe do your eye makeup first. And that. And then ideally, like, you just have to go with what you can afford. Like, never go into debt for makeup and things like that. it's not what you should invest your money in. But it's a creative expression, so it is okay to kind of splurge and spoil yourself sometimes. So I hope you kind of like this makeup look. I have kind of played around with this and I am really liking it. So I'll kind of do some more looks on it, and then maybe do a wider range, because I think it does have just some beautiful colors in here that didn't necessarily match with other ones. So I was trying to find ones that really looked the same while swatching. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you have a great day. Bye.